Coming up on today's After News, Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews have got some news.
The real reason Tony Schiavone disappeared from Dynamite.
A former WWE tag team are still big AEW targets.
And Shane McMahon, quote, always welcome in AEW. Is the deal back on?
I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the After News. And some big news to start us off with.
Yeah.
Surrounding Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews.
Yeah.
Who are now married.
Oh,
congratulations from all of us here at What Culture. Now, all of a sudden, Buddy Matthews' knee injury makes so much more sense in being written off television, and then subsequently us being like, oh, he's not injured. It was just all a big work. Now it all makes sense. Mm-hmm. This was revealed last night on Instagram by Rhea Ripley. There was a picture of the two of them having a bit of a kiss with the phrase, till death, and a little heart. 23/06/24. I know, that's confusing for Americans because we write the date normally here. It suggests that they tied the knot on Sunday. And BW Insider, yes, reporting that the angle writing Buddy off television was done to allow him to travel back home to Australia to marry Rhea Ripley. The real-life Demi Bennett and Matthew Adams announced their engagement last August. They first went public with their relationship, of course, in 2022, devastating Dominic Mysterio. But yeah, a lovely moment this. I will say this. I first saw this headline and a slight bit of panic rushed in because it's wonderful, obviously, especially as a new father, but there was a tiny bit of me that thought, oh God, Rhea Ripley's pregnant and that's going to put bait to all the Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio storyline. That's not happening. If that does, that would be fantastic.
I was going to say, like, it's not an important life event because there's pretty big stuff going on Raw right now.
But yeah, brilliant that they've got married and so happy for both.
Yeah, really nice this, isn't it? It's funny, like, what Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio are doing fundamentally what I want out of pro wrestling in 2024 in terms of blurring the lines, right? I am a bazillion % invested in Rhea Ripley's return and how scared Dominic should be and how scared Liv should be. And at the same time, what have I seen in the last 2 months? Rhea at Dom's wedding and now Rhea getting married herself. I can cope. My brain can manage.
Why can I allow for that? But any slight bit of slipping in kayfabe with anything else, I'm like,
We're constantly sort of working and reworking the rules of how wrestlers should make kayfabe work on X, and yet I just like this.
Yeah.
It's two bits of niceness. That picture of, like, was it Priest and Rhea and Dom all together at his wedding, and like Dom getting booed when he tried to bring the microphone to his mouth with wedding speeches and this, and obviously with it being Matthews, it's a wrestling wedding. You know, it's two wrestlers. Them different companies, how's that gonna work? Like, no, it's really, really nice, and as you say, it doesn't remotely put a dent in the excitement and anticipation for the earthquake that is coming Liv and Dom's way whenever Rhea Ripley makes her return.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. Congratulations once again to both of them. So happy for it.
Just a quick one here from Tony Schiavone himself. I was going to say out of the mouth of Tony Schiavone, but then couldn't be the case. He had to post it. He was randomly offed from Dynamite last night, halfway through the show. Where's Tony Schiavone gone? Well, somebody asked on X, and he was polite enough to respond. Tony Schiavone added, "Lost my voice. It was giving me problems all weekend. Thanks for asking." So there you go. Like a random wrestling mystery solved by What Culture by reading Tony Schiavone's Twitter feed. He was on commentary and then he wasn't. And I guess this happens. We've actually had this. There is a precedent for this. Do you recall when Michael Cole's voice went completely? And it was down to, I think it was JBL at the time. I want to say it was a No Way Out. Just had to call the rest of the show. Like Michael Cole, you could hear it going and going and going and going, and then it's like...
You're only making it worse as well because you're straining to overcome that, just
to try and cough your way through it, whatever. Jim Ross has had similar things in the past where it's like, mate, that voice ain't good for the rest of this show. And Schiavone obviously just had to thought, I'm just going to take my leave here.
It makes sense.
There's things I can do backstage that isn't me going, down the lens.
Yes.
On camera. So yeah, all is well. No sort of other sort of concerns as to why he was just suddenly not there. Voice gone.
It's the worst, isn't it, losing your voice? Because, you suddenly realise, that's going a bit raspy. What's going on here? And then, like I say, you're like, that's all right, fine, I'll just work through it. And the more you do that, the worse it gets, and the more you're prolonging the ability to talk again.
Yeah, it's bad enough.
You're talking like this. I had it first WrestleMania we went to. I got so excited at the Bullet Club block party and subsequently WrestleMania 35 and the Iconics winning and Kofi winning and Becky winning. Yeah. By the time we get to Raw, can't remember even if I did any videos, but if I did, they'd have been like this. what a great weekend we had. The Raw was kind of crap,
Yeah, it's bad enough when you're gobshites like us for a living.
Yeah.
But when you're actually on national television, serious business. Yeah. Get well soon, Tony.
Yeah.
Take a lozenge or whatever it is.
There's something I like the cherry flavoured ones.
Weak lemon drink.
Ooh. Hot Ribena.
I can't get away with hot Ribena. There's something wrong with it.
Do you reckon Americans ever had hot Ribena? If you had an American and had hot Ribena, put hot Ribena in comments.
Let us know in the comments about your thoughts on hot Ribena.
Disgusting.
Or your best solutions to sore throats and losing voices, because we're always looking.
Hot Ribena scarred me so bad as a child.
Yeah.
I didn't drink a blackcurrant lemsip until I was about 25 or something.
Different beast, different flavour, yeah.
Far better.
Hot Ribena, I'm already thinking should be an NXT character. We'll workshop that on next week's podcast.
But speaking of a former WWE talent that AEW is still, and Ring of Honor, I suppose, technically, are still interested in, I'm talking about the brilliant former Maximum Male models, MXM.
They'd make Hot Ribena look good.
Oh,
yeah.
They'd make Hot Ribena even hotter.
Yes.
Marseille, Mansoir, whatever you want to call them, Mason Madden. We talked about them being potentially at/on AEW Collision a while back. Turns out they were just backstage. Fightful Select once again coming through the report on this one. Mansour even. My brain just forces me to say it that way. Was also backstage at the LA tapings of Dynamite. Neither of them have appeared on screen yet, but they have been speaking with AEW / Ring of Honor in recent weeks, and Sean Rossap, once again doing some brilliant research, has learned from AEW sources that while it's not definite, the two have been discussed for appearances on the Ring of Honor brand. Not been told whether or not a deal has been signed yet, but there were some materials prepared in the event that they end up working in Ring of Honor. I really hope they do. They'll also be doing some great stuff in Uganda.
Yeah.
And we loved them when they were the Maximum Male models. I know it was the wrong way to use L. No.
Yeah.
But them advertising like tennis gear, and obviously the most famous one, the water, whatever that was.
Yeah, all-timer.
Was spectacular. I think they're great. I think probably Ring of Honor might work well for them. They've obviously got the likes of Dalton Castle on there, Dalton Castle, the Outrunners. Basically, that's my stable. Dalton Castle, the Outrunners, the Maximum Male models, and put all the belts on them. All of them.
I could see it as a Team Wilborn, like for a Survivor Series.
Oh!
I could absolutely see that. Yeah, there was quite a lot of buzz, I would say, in the for the for Maximum Male models when we thought they were going to be working Collision a couple of weeks ago. Whether or not they were going to just appear in that, this team are debuting, or in somebody else's this team are in action, and they're the sort of the plucky losers or whatever. They're just, when we heard they were backstage, there seemed to be a lot of build about, who they're going to fight, and the answer was nobody. They didn't appear, obviously. But all evidently is not lost. That when it mentioned the report about getting things together for their potential debut or sign or whatever, it made me think, I wonder if that's things like taking the pictures for the match graphics. I could immediately see them on there. And you're not wrong about Ring of Honor having a bit more levity in this era for the brand as well. And there are characters where it suits. I would happily campaign for them to start a Ring of Honor with a view of going all the way to the top.
Yeah.
But we'll see, I guess. Indie darlings, the Maximum Male models. Never thought I'd see the day. MXM.
Brilliant.
But they've kind of nailed every
What's the Ugandan promotion? I can't remember.
Soft Ground.
Thank you.
But they've nailed sort of every corner of the wrestling fan base with what it is they offer. And I think you give these guys a go.
Yeah.
To not just to Tony Khan or to WWE all over again, but these belong in pro wrestling.
Open invitation to them, by the way. Even if they don't want to talk about this sort of thing, they are always welcome for an interview with me on this channel.
I'll watch the hell out of that.
I'd really quite like to do it, but please, Tony Khan, I know I've said some things and done some funny voices in the past. Please sign them in time for them to be there, all in, but not on the card necessarily, so they're free to do an interview.
Are you watching this video and a big MXM fan? Tag them on X and get Adam Wilborn an interview with the two of them.
Please.
We're not afraid to beg.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to beg.
They can pour water all over me, I don't care.
I just meant over Skype. Yeah, let's do this.
Yes, I want an input. I want to touch them. I want them to be there, and I want them to flex their muscles.
Hashtag Adam to Uganda. Shane McMahon, speaking of people signing for AEW, is signing next week.
Wow, we really should have led with this.
Not quite. However, there is a slight tweak to the story we reported last week. The follow-up story we reported. First, Shane McMahon, is he going to AEW? Word! Followed by Tony Khan saying, I've never met him. Well, he's never met him, but he would be prepared to.
Oh!
He was being asked questions.
Talk about their time in the ECW crowd.
Yes, he was. He was doing an interview with Sports Illustrated about a number of topics. It's a great interview, worth going and watching. It's a great interview, but he does speak a lot about the obviously the TV rights deal and like lots of other factors to do with AEW. But the topic of Shane McMahon does come up, and I guess that's sort of the most interesting across the wider wrestling fan base because it'd just be the wildest thing, wouldn't it? Like Shane, any McMahon appearing on AEW has still got that reminder that you're in a wrestling war and they never say never and all that kind of thing. And last week we were kind of thought, I guess we are going to have to say never to this one. Not so.
No.
Tony Khan says, quote, I heard the rumour he might be interested. I've never met Shane, but we have a lot of mutual friends. Well, no. I have a lot of respect for him as an executive and a professional wrestler. 50%. Shane McMahon, this is his words, is always welcome in AEW. Right? Well, like, who would welcome him through the doors? You, Tony Khan.
Yes.
Make it so. Talk turkey. Get conversations on the go. If I can break bread with the beautiful Oyo Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, you can break even more expensive bread with Shane McMahon somewhere.
Sourdough, probably, innit?
Yeah, in a conference suite at the Jacksonville Jaguars or at Craven Cottage. Maybe bring Shane-O to Wembley. Shane-O at Wembo. Let's get that campaign on the go as well. Shane-O for Wembo.
Hashtag Shane-O at Wembo. Hashtag Max Adam male models.
Come on, guys. You do the rest now.
Over to you. And also, am I right in thinking there's going to be a wildcard entrant in the Owen Hart Cup soon?
Yes. Ask questions.
Someone that person would probably need to be pretty elite.
Who's your take for the wildcard, by the way? Let us know in the comments.
Shame
Watch the video from earlier today where we give you a bit of fantasy booking of who we think it might be. Yes, Tony Khan.
I wouldn't rule this out, the way things are going.
Leaves the door ajar.
One of those Dynamite ratings that they got last week. Shane McMahon's going to be pushing for the world title.
Well, and he's done that before. Got sacked by his own dad.
Yeah.
It's huge.
You can have another cage fight like they had with Wardlow and Hager, but with Shane McMahon in there.
I'd love that. The best pure striker in the business. No disrespect to the dead man, who not a lot of people are pitching him, but it is Shark Week next week.
It is.
So keep him peeled on Beach Break for the Undertaker, possibly.
Versus the real life Shark, or just Shark Boy.
It's Michelle McCool in the Shark Cage this time. I'm not going to let you swim anywhere near break the business. Shane in AEW remains tantalised, doesn't it?
Yeah, Shane McMahon in AEW, I just want to see what it looks like.
I'm glad the conversation exists.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're in a world where that chat can exist.
Anytime there is now a Tony Khan makes a major announcement, that's going to be my pick for it.
Shane. That's it. Next 6 months of content, booked, signed, sealed and delivered. See you there.
But yeah, let us know who you'd like to see Shane beat in his first night in AEW. In the comment section. Actually,
yes, let's do it.
Shane McMahon's first victory in AEW will be over.
Phone in my pocket, and we're going with
Alanis Morissette. That's the other in my pocket song.
It is. I got a battle of second generation stars because it's Shane McMahon versus Austin Gunn.
I've got the match. I got it right there, baby. Shane McMahon, cage match, best pure striker. Samoa Joe, sorry pal.
Done it. Completed it.
Game over.
Yeah.
And the Hook suddenly he's like, I don't listen to Samoa Joe, he sucks. Learn from this Shane McMahon guy.
I'm trying to think if they've overlapped. They have. They were in, remember that Survivor Series match in 2018 where Triple H booked himself 16 WrestleMania feuds? 2017, excuse me, that one. I'm going to bury all the NXT guys. Then I'm going to actually turn on Kurt Angle.
Kurt, Shane, Braun.
Yeah, kicked out Jason Jordan from the match just to get in it in the first place. They were all wearing Raw t-shirts. He was like, I got a better idea. I'll wear a Triple H one. He was one of the survivors with Braun before they fought at the end.
Braun was like, yeah.
Turned on Kurt. And then what did he do in the end? Oh, Ronda Rousey, please.
Thank you very much.
I'm the game Triple H. I'm the King of the King's Cerebral Assassin, and that's how it's done.
It's the best in it. Love wrestling. Let us know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. And if you want to check out that morning news video all about the wildcard entrant potentially in the Owen Hart Cup, you can check out this morning news right here. We'll see you later.